the control mice versus the myostatin inhibited mice, where you see that they're like 4 times the size. If you translate those dosages, 700 milligrams per 1 kilogram, for 110 kilogram bodybuilder, that's 6,300 milligrams YK-11. All right, moving on to something a little bit more exciting. I will keep the best stuff for last, though, because otherwise people are going to cut off. This is an interesting one. There are SARMs and steroidal SARMs. Right? We have selective androgen receptor modulators. Some of them are steroidal. So YK-11 is a steroidal SARM that has been shown to increase follistatin levels in vivo and in rodent model, or in vitro and in rodent models. I'm going to add it to my next cycle. It's on the way. So I want to see if I can take that sublingually before bed to increase my follistatin levels at night, because myostatin tends to go up in the middle of the night around the same time the growth hormone peaks, to see if I can elicit an additional anabolic response on top of the other shit that I'm taking. I've never taken a SARM in my life besides Ostrine, which gave me a terrible effect. It basically kicked off the testosterone, so I got weaker. I couldn't even squat anymore. It was insane. I was doing like 3-plate squats for 12 reps, and then I could do 9, and then I could do 7, and then I could do 5. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I threw the Ostrine in the trash. But I'm willing to give this YK-11 a try, but I've never tried it. I've done the research. It looks promising in the 5 studies that are published. There's another 5 or 7 excretion studies for doping analysis, but we don't count those. Did you guys ever look into YK-11? Or is it immediately off the books because it's classified as a SARM?
No, I tried it before, 5 milligrams. As a
spill the beans.
But to be honest, I didn't see much benefit from it. It was 8 weeks ran underneath, like testing primo. I didn't see any. But again, I'm not your typical bodybuilder, like mass monster that was trying to put on massive amounts of size. So I can't say, exactly from a follistatin, inhibition perspective that might have been lost on me. It was sort of ones like you where it's sort of like, well, let's see if I added this in with, testing primo that I know is predictable. What X plus Y plus Z effect am I getting? Didn't see anything. But again, maybe if, I was pushing, 250, 260, what you're aiming for, maybe then you're going to see something beneficial where you hit a plateau at 255, and that might be what takes you to 260, 265. But for someone like me, where max body weight for me has been like 235, and now I'm like between 196 and 204, it's probably lost on some of my size.
So why did you go with the 5 milligram dose over the commonly used Reddit dose of 30 milligrams per day?
Again, just lowest minimum amount that I wanted to see what I get on top of, a known anchored dosage for my physique. And it just, again, maybe had I taken more, like anything else, maybe there might have been some. But, I'm always willing to sort of see what the research translates over. Same like with SLU. Yeah. Let's see what carries over. But I didn't see anything personally. But again, like I said, it could be lost on someone like me that doesn't really want to push huge amounts of size.
So there's one study where they administer between 350 to 700 milligrams per 1 kilogram of body weight to mice. And that's the study that they usually quote, where you have the dissected mice and you see the control mice versus the myostatin inhibited mice, where you see that they're like 4 times the size. If you translate those dosages, 700 milligrams per 1 kilogram, for 110 kilogram bodybuilder, that's 6,300 milligrams YK-11. 6,300 milligrams YK-11.
If you took 6,000 milligrams a day of anything, it would do that.
Even Proviron.
Yeah, probably even Proviron.
So that brings us full circle to the 3-gram masterone cycles, right? As long as you take a boatload of it,
it'll work.
It'll work. So I'll start with 30 milligrams because that's basically the highest dose that has been documented, and I feel that that's sustainable based on the blood work reviews that I've seen on YK-11 alone. So that's where I'm going to start. I'm going to take it all sublingually though. So the Anavar or the Anadrol and the YK-11 will all be done sublingually. because I don't want anything passing through my intestinal tract because I had a little bit of distension and digestive issues after taking 10 milligrams Anavar for 5 months straight. So sublingually, and then I'm going to spit, not swallow. So let's see what gets absorbed. Yeah. There's injectable YK-11 though, but that's not in good carriers that you can find. Gart, any research or personal experience?
I only know the studies you know of. I've never tried it, and I don't know anyone who's used it that I know didn't really get a lot out of it.
Yeah.
But again, they weren't using 6 grams of it.
Yeah.
I would say, so with the steroidal SARMs, I mean, technically nandrolone, trenbolone, there's most steroids are
there's
technically
steroidal
SARMs, right? Because they were designed to just hit the androgen receptor. The problem is we've never been able to nail a SARM perfectly, right? We can nail a SERM. We're pretty good at the estrogen receptor. Everything always has this overflow into everything else.
Yeah, and Australian has about 80 studies behind it, and I think it's still being investigated, but all the other ones have already been discontinued and
they're
dropped. Yeah, so I'll have a look at this YK-11. Might as well run that community experiment at the same time and see if I grow phenomenally, or at least the chest and the quads. And that's why I wanted to do it now, because I'm not going to hit my back, my biceps, and that will grow anyway, and I don't want it to grow anymore. So I'm going to selectively train and use a selective androgen receptor modulator. Fingers crossed. Yeah. Let's see what happens. So I would say to be determined, because when you read the reviews, people who rave about YK-11 also sell YK-11. And people who say that it didn't do anything for them are probably newbies. Not discounting Dean. Dean is clearly not a newbie, but he ran such a low dose that a bikini competitor wouldn't even get out of bed.
Pretty much. But I mean, like, you know,
so modest.
I'm always going to be the one that's on the edge of caution. But again, the other side of it, to me, you know,
that's what the lowest effective dose is there for, right? You start low, and you can always build your way up.
Sure.
My blood work is fine, and I'm like, fuck it. I'm just going to cycle hard. This always happens after Mr. Olympia. I want to cycle hard because there's so many big guys.
Let's not discount, maybe at some point I might have a midlife crisis in my 40s where it's just like, effing, let's just get huge for the next 4 years.
Is that what it is? Is that what it is? Well, join me in the sun, man.
I will.
You already shaved your head, right? You're already halfway there.
You're two bad influences.
It's called the Anabolic Roundtable. We got to meet somewhere in the middle between risk averse and 18 IUs of Serostim.
My blood work looks fine, so
yeah, I know. You look great, also. So it's we'll find a way. So I would say with YK-11 to be determined, TBD, because I'm running it now alongside Mint, which is also my first time, but I'm sure I can kind of diversify what is doing what. Let's see what's next.